Hello, Cherries. Welcome to Live Cherry Sunday, special episode Monday. And today's video, actually, episode 149. Don't want to forget that. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to borrow chords from the parallel minor for soloing. And this is very cool stuff because it allows you to open up a little bit and kind of get out of the box that you might normally be playing in. And before I get right to the lesson, I just want to say hello to my friend here in the chat, Scott Olson. Good morning. Give you a round of applause. So good to see you, Scott. Normally I go live on Sundays at 12 o'clock, but I wasn't able to do it yesterday, so I'm doing it here today on Monday. Hello, Pekka Blues. Good to see you. Give you a round of applause. Hello, Mike. All right, Mike Beachman. It was so good seeing you the other day. Oh, wow. Took some great shots, too. Mike is a fantastic photographer. Did some photos from our Disco Unlimited show this past weekend. And cheers to you guys. What are you guys drinking out there today? Looking for Crossroads. Hello again. I have my coffee from this morning. I know it's beer o'clock somewhere. What are you guys drinking out there? So, this is really cool. I don't know who mentioned doing this, playing major, minor type stuff, but I really think it's pretty cool. Might have been you, Scott, talking about doing a major, minor absinthe. Scott's drinking absinthe. That is perfect. Perfect drink for this Monday afternoon here. Hopefully you can hear my guitar okay. I got the SG because someone said, hey, do you ever play the SG? It's like, yeah, I'm going to play it Monday. So here it is. This is for you, for the SG. So, I'm going to do this thing. It's a parallel minor chords. And what that means is, let me show you this little graph here real quick. Check this out. We'll go over here to this one. I'll show you this little graph. Actually, you know, it looks a little bit better if I go right over here. Just to explain it a little bit. So basically, you have diatonic chords, right? Say the key of C. No sharps, no flats, just to keep it simple. You have a C chord. Just like that. You have the C major scale. Well, every chord has a key. Every note has a chord. So the C is the one chord, it's a C. The 2 is a minor chord, it's a D minor. The E is a 3 chord, it's a minor chord as well. The 4 is a major chord, it's an F. The 5 is a G, it's a major chord. The 6 is a minor chord. And the B is a minor 7 flat 5 chord. Before it goes back to the C again. It kind of resolves nicely. Kind of like this. You get G7. Back to the C. But what you can do is, with this parallel minor thing we have here, is that you could borrow any one of those other chords that are not in the key. Because what it really means is parallel minor, it means that it's the minor version of the C, and it's going in a parallel way, along with each other. So C minor, which would be the parallel minor, it's no longer in the key of C, it's a different key, it's actually E flat. So it's, just as A minor is to C, C sharp minor is to E flat, like that. So then I get C minor. Which is completely different, right, than C major. C major's happy. C minor, sad. So really, all you're really doing is you're just shifting all of the chords. And what's really cool about this is that you could borrow from each one of these. Like here's the C major that I already went over. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C again. Well, you have the same thing in E flat. It would be like, here's an E flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to E flat. So it's really the same pattern of 7 chords. It's just different keys. But in the case of this parallel minor thing, if you look at this chart here, you see C is the 1. Well, what if we go down to the 1 of parallel minor? That's a C minor. So all that is doing is playing from C. That's the most basic way to do this, is to play a C major and then C minor. That's one cool way to do it. Now what we could do is check this out. We could take, we could record. Let's make a loop here real quick. And I'll check this out. Give me 1 sec here. 1 second. I'm gonna make a loop, really quick loop, and save it. Right. 2, 5. Okay. So let me just clear this loop. Got a little drum loop here. That's not what I want to do. I want to go to 5 here. All right, okay. I'm just going to go just a C major 2 times, and then go to a minor. Back to C. Let's try that. 2, 3, 4. That's not what. Okay. One more try. Delete what was there previously. 1, 2, 3. See, you get to experience the whole creation process with me here today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Minor. Okay, here's the major chord. Tricky there. Alright, so that is the idea for the simplest way to go ahead and explain that. So if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, notifications. Any questions about any of this stuff, let me know. And we'll go back to this little chart here again real quick. Now that's kind of a boring kind of a progression right there, but you see where I'm going with this, and you could really kind of create lots of different types of progressions while doing this. And I didn't store that one, but it's okay. Like for instance, you can go, I created this one. Now check out this progression. This is just a basic, this is a C to an F. That's in the diatonic key. So you can basically just play, the C major scale. Or you could do something like the C to the F. Right there, I went to B flat. So I borrowed a chord on the third chord. B flat. So that gives you like a little bit different of an element right there. What does the A flat do to that C progression? Well, makes it the C have a minor seventh. So you're playing in there C major. So right now you have a major seventh, which is the B note. It is like seasoning a little for the chord sequence. A little like seasoning for the chord sequence. Sure. Yeah, totally. It's I totally enjoy this type of thing right here where you could change things around because, in the diatonic world, you have these 7 chords. You can do anything you want with them, really. Then you could add some of those other chords. Now, what I did was to, and what a lot of people do is they'll choose one of those chords that really emphasizes the minor change. And what the minor change really does is it adds that E flat note. So if you look at the C major scale here, the third, you have C, D, E. So really, to make that minor, you want to go E flat. So it'd make it a minor scale. So E flat is a chord in the parallel minor. So you can see it's the 3 chord, or it's a third of C, but it's the 1 chord of E flat right there. But it's a E flat major chord. So really, if I use that chord right here, E flat, it's really showing off the chord, the minor note of the key here. So I did a chord progression. Let's see if I saved it right here. See what this sounds like. C major, F. Yeah. So it stays on the E flat longer. Major, minor, back to major, back to major. So hopefully you're enjoying this. If you are, tap that like button. Ring the bell for notifications. Subscribe. All that groovy stuff. Any questions about any of this stuff, please let me know. We go live every Sunday right here at Cherry Band. YouTube/Cherry Band. And I like to think of it as we're a band here. It's me, it's you. And that's what I'm talking about. So, using my looper right here to create these loops kind of on the fly. And let's see. There's all kinds of progressions we can come up with here for this. And that's the beauty of it, is that you're not really limited to just, the basics here of this progression. So you have, we just really emphasized the minor notes, which is the E flat. We could play a C chord. Now, what's really cool is that it's parallel. So if you look at the top diatonic chart and then look at the parallel minor chart, it's just that they go in the same order. It's pretty much the same letters too. C to C, D to D. That second chord, D, is not a D minor, it's a D diminished chord. So what if I borrowed that 2 chord right there and I went C to a D diminished? Then I went back to say the E minor. And then I went to E flat. So I just wrote a pretty cool progression right there. Like a little gateways for added tonal color. Yeah, totally. So, check this out. Like just went C, D diminish, E E minor, F, no, E flat. So you could teeter between major and minor that way too. Let's see. Get rid of that. I'll lose this loop. Let's record that on a loop and see. Because all I'm doing is I'm going from the top chart, C, then I'm going to the second note of the bottom chart, D diminished, then I'm going back to the third note of the diatonic, which is E minor, and then I'm going to the I'm going back to the third chord of the parallel minor, E flat. So I'm playing C, D diminished, E minor, and then E flat, like that. Let's see how that sounds. So it's a C, D diminished, E minor, back to E flat. So let's loop this, see what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Minor, then back to the major. So that's pretty weird. A little bit out there, but it's something, it's something a little different. We can keep going. We could do something like, what if we choose from that C, and we went to, instead of going to a B, you go. Yeah, that would be in the diatonic in the key of C. B diminished, right there. B half diminished. We can go to B. We go C to B flat. To the F. So what that's doing is that it's playing. You're switching from C major So really, you have you could play C major, gives it more of a mixolydian feel, right there. So let's try that. Let's see what that sounds like. You got a C chord. I'm going to play a C, then a B flat, and then an F. to C. Major seventh, get a minor seven. It's almost like Can't You See from the Allman Brothers. You almost get like just a blues feel. You play a minor pentatonic over this. Very cool, Scott. Thank you very much. Very cool of you. So we won't go too much longer today. You know, we're just kind of whipping through this here. Hopefully you're enjoying this. And I did do another video very similar to this on the useful music theory, I call it. It's called the diatonic chords of the key. And so it's... check that out when you get a chance. I'll put a link in the description. And it basically shows, you know, it shows those chords, right, that we're talking about. And that's the, what chords are we talking about? Well, we're talking about these chords. Oh, isn't that weird how I did that right there? I just wanted to show you. We could bring it right up here so that we could see this along with what I'm talking about. The magic of graphics. Here, check it out. I don't know if we could see that. Okay, I'll blow it up a little bit bigger. The magic of diatonic chords. Makes sense? All right, that's cool. Glad it makes sense. And you can do this in any key. That's the beauty of it. It doesn't have to be just in C, but it could be in any key. You know, there's a famous progressions that go C. Like the C right here. You can go to F, and they go F minor. If you do that, you're playing C major. You're playing C major still over the F chord. But then you go into an F minor chord. It's really the only thing that changes here is that you're playing now, you know, you could play C major scale. to the C. Let's try it. Let's record a loop on that. See what that progression sounds like. I can delete this old one here. We'll strum it. We'll play a little different. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a little bit at it. Try that again. The loop. Or just pick it. 1, 2, 3, 4. See if that came out. Nope. Looper has a little attitude here. Hey, Jeffrey Boyle, how's it going? Let's try this loop one more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it doesn't want to do that, so we'll stop it real quick. The magic of going live. Okay, let's try this. We'll try that, and we'll clear this. All right, try this one more time. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. C major. Looper issues, huh? Yeah. And well, the thing is, the reality is, I haven't used my looper in a while. And, you know, with my MIDI, with my looper, the RC5, and using the little MIDI thing that I have, the DMC Micro Pro, it's kind of a little bit confusing when you don't use it for a while. Just like anything, when you don't use stuff for a while, you kind of forget how to use it, right? And that's kind of why I did it. But I saved it for you, so you could watch me kind of like struggle through it. So it's all good, though. We're among family here. Doesn't really matter. So hopefully you're enjoying this. Hopefully some of this is making sense to you. It's just some cool progressions that we're coming up with here, just by using parallel minor and the diatonic chords right here. We have the diatonic chords C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Then we have the parallel minor, which basically just turned the C chord into a minor chord right there. So anytime we go to the parallel minor, we could really play the whole minor scale, which is really cool. So if I played this one chord, C, and I went to a B, half diminished. I can play from back and forth from C to C minor. So check it out. We'll create like a little loop real quick, just doing those two chords. And let me know what progression you want me to do next. We'll just do this for a second. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So C major scale, C major minor, major, like the C major, C major 7. It's a D. All I did there was I did a E flat arpeggio. Back to E. Because E flat is the new roots of the parallel minor C. You see, look, the 3 chord of the parallel minor, it's a major E flat. So really I can go to this diminished chord, which is what I'm doing. C major, D, half diminished. But instead of that, I'll play E flat. pretty cool. There's all kinds of like crazy progressions you can come up with here, and you go from C. I don't know if I'm in tune here. Close enough for rock and roll, right? So any progressions you want, just let me know. We'll pick it out. You can go from a C to a G minor is a really cool one. Like going from C. Let's go 1 to a 5 minor. Let's do that one a little bit. Check it out. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's major. Doesn't really give you that much of an impression that that it's switching to minor as much because of the G in this note right here. Definitely gives it a dominance, a minor 7. Still want to stay on the E note, even over the G chord. But you still can. You can play C minor. All right. Jeff Garrison. Let's see. First time viewer and loving it. New sub. Awesome. Thank you so much. Love live guitar videos. We start 45 plus years of playing. From lessons some classical guitar. Wow, that's really cool. So, new sub. 45 plus years playing. Nice. Classical guitarist. A classical guitarist, Dad. So your father's a classical guitarist, or are you a classical guitarist? Either way, that's very, very cool. Hopefully you're enjoying this. Actually glad you're enjoying this. So we got a little bit left, but we're just creating some of these guitar lessons here. I mean, guitar progressions. And, you know, out of these two scales here, C major scale, that's a solfege, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, in the key of C, which makes it completely correct to all of you real purists out there who say that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do is only in C. Well, to me, it's a movable. You can play it anywhere. I'm going to upset a lot of people right here. I'm going to play it in E. It's do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? But it's an E. But we play it in C. That's the first diatonic thing that we have up there. C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A, B, C. But then we could play a C minor scale. Really, the only difference is that's a minor third. You have the 4 and the 5, minor 6, and a flat 7. So right here, if you look at this pattern, it's a good way to see the shapes. So major would be, here's a 6, major 7, root. Minor. It's nice to switch in between and go back and forth between them. It's just two scales. Or, I'm just switching. Sorry, I didn't mean to be trying to be cool. I'm just trying to get my hair in my eyes right here. I keep going like this, like, yeah, so cool, right? What does the B diminished and D diminished really mean? Actually, it's not a question I'm just making up right here. This is a legitimate question here from Looking for Crossroads. What does the B diminished and the D diminished really mean? Okay. Well, as far as the C major scale goes, look at that top chart right there. It's the 7th note. If you just count them from left to right, you get C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And that's where that little circle is right there, B, diminished, right? That just means it's the 7th degree of the C. And it makes a diminished type of chord. Here's the B. Put it right over here so you can see it a little better. Here's a B note. Based on all the notes that are in the scale, you have a flat 5. And the B diminished just means that it's a flat 5. Whereas like the C chord has a full 5th. You see what I see? I always think of the sound of it. Do you see what I see? Perfect 5th. All these chords have perfect 5ths. Except for the diminished one. It sounds like that. It's got a flat 5. So it would sound like this normally. But we don't have that note in the scale, so we have to play that there. Okay. So that's the B diminished, or half diminished. A full diminished would sound like this. It's a little bit different, but it's a half diminished for this. But it's a diminished, meaning that it has a flat 5 and a minor third in it. Now, comparing that to the D diminished, well, it's the same thing. If you look at that parallel minor, one step further, the C, it's the third note, the E flat, is really the parent key. So from E flat, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the 7th degree again is that D makes it a half diminished. chord. It sounds like, actually no, D, like this. Because here's the E flat chord, E flat major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is a D. So really, the half diminished chord is always the 7th chord of any key. And in that bottom parallel minor, that D is really the 7th degree. If you go back to C minor, that's the 6th degree, because it's the natural minor. It's always the 6th degree of the root, which is the parent key, which is E flat in that case. I'm not trying to make this confusing at all. Quite the contrary. This whole channel is about simplifying everything. So I just want this. The simplest way is to really kind of just see the major scale and then see the minor scale in lots of different places all over. Yeah, you could really use any one of these chords. Here, Tom G in the house. What's happening, Tom G? Monday party. Yeah, we're partying on Monday. So cool to see you. Disco, he's the disco king. Looking for progression. You got it. That's so cool. I'm glad that you got it. If any progressions, you want to see any progressions out of these chords, let me know. We could throw it together real quick. It's right there. You could actually play both diminished chords. How about that? Wouldn't that be something? If you played like a C chord, and then went to a B diminish, and then went to a D diminish, and then played the C again. I mean, some of these don't really sound all that great, right? But it is something. I mean, that's something right there. That's C to G. So you're still in C, and then you go to a B diminished. You go B diminished. And then if you go to let's say a B flat, that's pretty cool. Let's try that. Let's record that little loop. I'll make a loop out of it. So what I do, I went C, then I went B diminished, then I went D diminished, and B flat. Let's try that. Making up stuff here. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, that's not what I was saying. I want to go to a G. C to a G chord. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I forgot the chord progression. Oh, B flat. Okay, one more time. 2, 3, 4. G. D diminished. B flat. C. So really, you're in C, now you're in C minor. C major. So really those two last chords make it minor. You could just really just play the minor scale here. All right, that's another silly progression, but nonetheless, it does work, and it's great for songwriting. You know, if you want to break out of your typical, you know, you want to write a really, really good song, and you want to make it a really bad song, you could do, you know, add some other chords. Add that minor. Are we going G minor, back to the C, or B flat, half diminished. You can even do it as like a passing chord, B flat, like G to a C, or that B diminished to an E flat. Because really, that diminished chord, half diminished, is really just an inversion of a 7 chord that leads to, it's really, all right. Jeff. Studying in junior high, high school, college, and university. 45 years and still learning and loving it. Love writing, recording, and performing music. That's so cool. Your music, it's beautiful. Love writing music myself. I've got 2 albums. Do you have any albums out there, Jeff, we could check out? Still always looking to learn, expand, improve, hone, and master my musicality. Man, that's what we're all trying to do. You know, it's a never-ending project. Playing guitar, singing, and trying to be a better musician. Thank you very much for that. And if you are enjoying this video, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I go live every Sunday. Next week we'll be back on schedule on Sunday again, and that's really cool. That's when I like doing it. I like getting home really late Saturday night from a gig and waking up at 7 a.m. 2 hours later. And preparing for this, but that's what I love to do, so I do it. Just kind of joking there. So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up for the day. We'll go hitting close to the hour mark here. Actually, we just hit it. So, you know, I will mention that I do have a guitar course. And first of all, let me get rid of this little this thing right here. Talk about the course for just one sec. It's called Essential Skills Collection for Guitar. And I'll put a link in the top of the description for that. And it's basically just goes over 3 things. Fretboard memorization, where you can learn quickly where the notes are all over the fretboard, like C, 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 C. And now you know you can play C, anything. Major scale, minor scale. So it's really cool. Then the circle of fifths, which is basically the same exact thing we're talking about here. If you see it in the circle, you might have a better understanding of what it is that I'm actually doing. So I didn't break out the circle today, but I usually do. But you can check that out. I do a whole course on the circle of fifths as well there. And last but not least, the blues. That's where your soul and feel comes from. And bending. So there's a whole thing on the blues as well. So check that out when you get a chance. I would appreciate that. And any ideas for any future lessons, let me know in the comments. I go live, like I said, every week, and love to have your ideas. As a matter of fact, doing this today was, someone had mentioned it. I can't remember who it was exactly. I apologize for that. Might have been Scott. Scott Olson said something about major minor. I'm not sure if you're talking about in the blues context, mixing minor and major pentatonic, like major pentatonic into minor. That would be mixing in a blues context. But the way we did it today is more of a scalar way, switching chords. in chord progressions and not necessarily the blues. Actually, not at all the blues. It's good to break away from the blues in a context where you really not, because you could, as far as I'm concerned, you could play the blues in any music. But when you're really picking out chords like this, like we did with the parallel minor, you tend to play more scalular for that. C major, C minor, etc. And so, David Belcher, thanks for the eye opener, Peck Blues. Very cool. You know, the whole idea is that you get something out of this here. And if you do, you take it and run with it. I'll be very, very happy with that. Hey, Jerry, hope you're doing well. Just stopping in to say hi. It's been a while. Doing great. Thank you, David Belcher. Give you a round of applause. Hope you're doing well as well. But thanks for popping in. We are wrapping it up here. Let me know if there's anything you want me to do for next week, any questions or anything. I love you guys. Thanks for spending some time here with me. And remember, be cool, be kind, be cherry. If you want to see another video I made with chord progressions and how to write interesting chord progressions using music theory in the parallel minor like we did today, I'll put that video right up there. So, love you guys. See you next time. Have a great week. Ciao, y'all.